Hello, my friends. Let's start with the most interesting news. The Ukrainian Special Forces conducted a raid into the Belgorod region, inflicting additional losses on the occupiers. In particular, the reconnaissance team mined the only road used by invaders in the Gaivoran district of the Russian Federation. Additionally, they attacked a Russian platoon's strong point using mortars and small arms. The exact number of eliminated and wounded occupiers is unknown. Today, there are some surprises here as well. So let's begin with the Kherson direction. The occupiers continue to assault the positions of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the village of Krynky. They intensively shell the right bank to prevent the Ukrainian Armed Forces from transferring reserves to the left bank. There are no changes in the front line, but the battles persist. Although the Russians are beginning to realize that clearing the foothold won't be easy for them.
No change. Counter-rifle battles continue, supported only by mortar fire. The Crimea drag continues. They are no longer even trying to eliminate our bridgehead. Now the number of assaults on Krynky has significantly decreased. The appointment of General Teplinsky to the post of commander of the Dnipro military command did not bring the expected result. The enemy's bridgehead is unshakable.
As evident, the Russians don't stop preparing new units to prevent the Ukrainian Armed Forces from achieving their goal. Similarly, late yesterday evening, reports started coming in again about the operation of air defense systems in Crimea, and the Crimean Bridge was urgently closed. So we await the results, because the destruction of the Crimean Bridge would immediately solve a lot of problems.
As a result of the attack of the armed forces of Ukraine on the Saki military airfield in Novobakhmutivka, at least one serviceman was wounded, one, as of the morning of January 6, was under the rubble. Earlier, the commander of the Air Force of Ukraine, Mykola Olszczuk, said that the armed forces of Ukraine hit the command post at the Saki airfield in Crimea.
In the Zaporizhzhia direction, the occupiers failed to achieve success in the areas of Verbove and Robotyne. Today, all attacks have ceased, and the number of shelling incidents has also decreased, so there are no changes along the front line. In the Vuhledar direction, The occupiers continue shelling across the entire front line, but no offensive actions are reported, and the situation can be described as stable. In the Avdiivka direction, there is continued significant Russian activity, with 19 attacks repelled in the last day, and battles persist. Attacks are still observed in the areas of Novobakhmutivka and the coke and chemical plant. However, the battles in the industrial zone have ceased, but the direction of attacks from the eastern side of Avdiivka has changed. Russians are attempting to break through to the outskirts of the city, intensifying shelling. On the southern flank, battles continue for Pervomayske and Nevelske. As before, there is no success and the front line remains unchanged. In the Bakhmut direction, it is reported that tactically the Russians are gradually advancing in the areas of Bohdanivka and even Khromove. However, this doesn't lead to significant changes along the front line. Today, there are no major offensive actions reported. Further south, in the areas of Klishivka and Andriivka, battles persist. Yet, credit must be given to our fighters, who have successfully held the defense for an extended period, despite the significant pressure from the Russians.
Выдали нам эти автоматы, погнали на полигон. Там два-три раза я стрельнул, и все. Через 4 дня нас погнали на мясо, на войну. Но нам сказали просто: приходите, сейчас придем, сядете на оборону, посидите маленько, укрепитесь, потом пойдем сразу на наступление. А оказывается, мы пришли, сели на оборону, посидели что-то день-два, и все, и сразу пошли туда на передок. Ну и все, меня ранило, я ушел в госпиталь.
И после каждого тебя залечили обратно в
Да кого там лечить? Так приехали, перебинтовали, и все, и опять. Вот я лежал там сколько, дней 5-6, и все, меня выписали сразу. Там без военников и никто.
In the Siversk direction, a complete lull has set in. If yesterday there were reports of shelling, albeit in minimal quantities, today the General Staff reports that the occupiers are conducting only mortar shelling. The situation is the same in the Crimea area. There is a possibility that intelligence is providing very accurate information that the Russians are preparing a major offensive to break through to Liman. In reality, today there are only 11 kilometers from the eastern front line to Liman, and under significant pressure, the likelihood of a breakthrough still exists. In the direction of Svatove, there is also complete silence. The Russians show no activity and the front line remains unchanged. In the Kupiansk direction, battles for Synkivka continue, and in other settlements, only shelling persists. The Russians haven't been able to break through in the area of the highway, so the front line remains unchanged. Near Liman first, it is also reported that tactical battles periodically occur, accompanied by shelling. The situation there is challenging, but the Russians haven't managed to break through. Meanwhile, the world stands on the brink of yet another war.
Tensions between the DPRK and the Kyrgyz Republic do not subside. On January 5, Pyongyang fired 200 artillery shells into the buffer zone between the countries. They did not enter the territory of South Korea, but North Korea recently reiterated that it continues to prepare for war. The incident occurred at midnight local time. All shells fired from the DPRK fell in the buffer zone north of the northern demarcation line. In this zone, established to reduce tensions on the border in accordance with the 2018 Inter-Korean military agreement, artillery firing and naval exercises are prohibited.
And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.